So believe me or not, I must say congratulations to my fans all over the world because they have done very well as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining me on this board now, my name is Chengle Atukumbo Olagbaye. I'm streaming both inside the YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So if you are not on Facebook, you can join on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, you can join on Facebook straight away. I accommodate them, I must tell you, because we are one in the world. We are just one. And I cannot see any problem when people are saying there's a problem between Christian and Muslim. There is no problem at all. It's a literacy ideology, illiterates that think there's a problem. And if one person wants to rule the other, then there will be a problem. But other than that, I cannot see any problem at all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm enjoying my staff because they are very honest and very loyal, very upright. So I cannot see the difference between my religion and their ones because I trust in them and they have discharged the duty placed in them very well many times when I'm overseas. So I want to say congratulations to them. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are today, 4th of June. And if you look at the topic I put out there, getting married is what I talk about today. Getting married in the United Kingdom. You see, a lot of people are worrying me and say, you think I can go ahead and do my marriage with my wife? You think I can go ahead and do my You think I can go ahead and do my this with my husband? Oh yes, of course you can go ahead and get married with your husband or wife in the United Kingdom. There is no prescribed law that says you cannot do it. My name is Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. My platform is LTO platform, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye TV. So join me on my page. Those who are asking me for friend requests, just go and like my page and follow it on. There is nothing different from what I'm doing here on my personal platform. So majority of what I do here, I transpose it back onto my private platform. So you can go over there and join me there. No worries. Go over there and join me on my public page. That is where you need me most because I don't really visit private page so that I don't see what is happening on Facebook. So when I come on public page, I only deal with it and go back immediately. By that I will be able to control myself and what is happening around me respectfully. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the topic closely, getting married. But before I talk on that, let me appreciate all the staff members, the prophets, the prophetess, and every ministers of God at Orisun Ibukun Parish in London for having me in their midst on Sunday, the 2nd of June for the juvenile harvest. I must say thank you for having me in your midst. A surprise visit is what I always love to pay to those that I love dearly. I always pay them an impromptu visit. So thank you for having me in your midst. I must tell you, the presence of God is sweet and beautiful for those who know God very well. It is beautiful to be among those who have that heart. You know, nobody's cheating on anybody. Everybody's just using their mouth to pray. Madras Olorunwe, that's what we did there, and it was fantastic. I danced my head off. In fact, yesterday my nails were paining me throughout. You know, I have pains, you know, in my nails because I dance. I can tell you, and I kneel down before God because anyone who kneels before God will stand before man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are arrogant before God, you will not be able to stand before any man. So let me use this opportunity to remind you and reiterate to you that when you kneel before God, any man in this world, I don't believe in caricature or talk anything. I believe in those who are obedient to God, who can kneel before God at any time. Even if it's a 10-year-old that is placed before to lead your church, you have to kneel before him or her, not with arrogant mind. And if you are kneeling before him or her, you are kneeling before God, not before him. So when you kneel before God, you stand before any man by the authority in heaven. Nothing can change that power from you because you are obedient, you have stand before God. And that is why I bring to you today, before I go into the reason for getting married in the UK. Kneel before God anytime you are in the house of God. Be obedient. Do what they ask you to do. The problem, the sin is on somebody who is delivering the wrong messages. If God has not sent you to deliver and you deliver, ègbé fún ẹni tó jíṣẹ́ tí wọn ò rán. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí Ọlọ́run bá sọ, it is your duty to follow it smoothly. When God speaks, nobody can change that word. So I believe in prophecy, and I can't see anybody to tell me say prophecy or see. Well, if there is no prophecy, how did Mary get pregnant? How did Angel Gabriel visit her? So I don't want to go into that realm now. But there are fake prophecies. but you will know when yours message is delivered. And when yours is not delivered, it's wrong one given to you. Just say back to sender, back to you prophet, back to you pastor. It is yours, it's not me, it's not for my family, because you will definitely know when wrong message is given. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't come to preach sermon this morning, but God just put it in my mouth and I just say it honestly. Forgive me, but I cannot hide what God always sent me to do. It has been transposed already inside me, so I have to deliver. I am sorry. You just have to follow the curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful morning here in the United Kingdom. My Muslim fans all over the world, enjoy yourself while last today. But please return to work tomorrow, because I haven't got space for you to have another day off tomorrow. Since our majestic cabinet cannot give day off, I have given you day off in my capacity. But I can only afford one day in the United Kingdom for any staff to do. So everybody must return back to my offices all over the world tomorrow, inshallah. There is no requirement for migrants planning to marry in the UK to seek the permission of the Home Office to do so. So when you are being gallivanting and moving from one side to another and telling you this and that, don't take advice from somebody who is not qualified. Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye, I am situated in the United Kingdom. That is where my head office is. And I have not changed my curriculum, my status. I am still a lawyer, and that's what I intend to do in every capacity. Even in the realm of my people, I still want to stand out gallantly in the family member, in the church, anywhere, to put my airdrops all the time as a leader, as a church leader, as a lawyer, as an advocate of God. You know, in any situation that you want to prescribe me, I am just there and ready at all times to answer that question. So there is no requirement for you when it comes to getting married in the United Kingdom to seek the permission of the Home Office to do so. The certificate of approval scheme that they've introduced, you know, under the asylum and immigration treatment, so just to make sure that they go through the number formalities. But that has already been abolished since 9th of May 2011. The reason why I come out today to discuss this is because I have been receiving many questions, queries from people asking me questions that, oh, is there anything I can do? Can I get married? I have a blank passport. Can I do this? Of course, if you have a legitimate and genuine relationship, legitimate and genuine, look at those two words that I put out there. Underline them. It has to be legitimate. That means it's not sham. At the same time, when you look at genuine, it has to be real and not just for the purpose of circumventing immigration purpose. So when you are looking from those two angles, ladies and gentlemen, just be upright in your dealings. Once you are honest and upright and you are doing it for the purpose of love, not for the purpose of gaining your immigration status, you have nothing to fear. Even if they want to take it to the Secretary of State himself, Sir Javid, to check it, who cares? Even if Theresa May, the madam, wants to check it before she leaves her position as a prime minister, who cares? As long as your head can be put upright and shows that it is real, it's not fake, then the subsistence of the relationship will be real in the end. Thank you for reminding me that, but it's always in part of the norms. Anyway, subsisting will mean when your marriage is done. Okay? To show relationship, it has to be genuine. The word subsisting will mean that it's still intact. You are still together. That is when you will use the word subsisting in its own sentence, but not at the moment when you want to get the approval from the state authority of the Homeland Security Department at Croydon in the United Kingdom. So, ladies and gentlemen, what am I saying to you under the immigration emblem today is that, of course, there is nothing under the United Kingdom law saying that you don't have right to get married in the UK. There is nothing prescribed under the duration of this period of government saying that you cannot get married in the United Kingdom. But you have to be wary of the fact that the part of the system have created a kind of a power for almost 76 offices in England and Wales. 76, of course, the officer will have that power under Section 24. To notify the Secretary of State for the Home Department and say, listen, can you investigate this for all? Can you use your power? Can you check this? Can you go and check the premises to make sure that the marriage is not what we're thinking, or the relationship is not what we are thinking of, and what would they be thinking of? At that particular time, they are thinking that, oh, is this a marriage of convenience, or is Is it a marriage of convenience or real? So at that particular time, the registrar will have a power or his power prescribed under the Immigration Act. Send it to the Home Office and say, listen, go and investigate, come and verify this. So they will be attending your marriage on that very faithful day. They will be sitting there as if they are part of the members of the crowd coming to watch. But at the end of the day, they will make the arrest before you do a do. Before you say I do, they will make the arrest. Because if they don't make arrest on time and you said the word I do, that marriage has taken place under the Marriage Act in the United Kingdom. For that marriage not to take place in the event that they suspecting it, then they have to make arrest with immediate effect on that fateful day that you are expecting. Now, what does even the Secretary of State Department have to do in terms of when they have now, transfer a file to them to check? All they need to do again is that they want both parties, the registrar want both parties before them to prove their name, age, and nationality, But there is nothing prescribed the way of evidencing this thing. There is nothing under the law saying this is the way you have to, evidence it. What is crucial at that particular time is that both parties that is consenting to get married must be over 18. Both parties consenting to get married must be over 18. I remember vividly at some stage, the Secretary of State then, which is now the Prime Minister going, introduced it and lift it up to the age of 21. We took it to court, we practitioners, and we object to it because it's an insult of his highest to change that age of adult in one section of the department and leave it in another area just for the purpose of immigration. That is in breach of Article 8. That is not in conform with Human Rights Act. So therefore, we contest against it on paperwork. We took it to court and it was brought back down to the age of 18, not 21. So anyone who is 18 and above does not need the consent of the parents of any members of the family to get married. As long as they are man, they are not boys, and they are woman, they are not girls. That's one of the topics I am coming to talk about weekend. So be at alert. I will tell you who we describe under norms as a man, as a boy, as a woman, as a lady, when I come to talk about my summit this week. So be on the lookout for my next program. Today, I am dealing with the issue of law. People have asked questions rigorously, asking me, is it true that I can get married without status in the UK? Status does not confirm happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people mix it up and say, oh, I must get my status at all costs. Yeah, you get your status, but you're not going to be happy with it because you will be punching like a punch bag. You'll be pushing around like a punch bag all the time because all what is in your mind is just that kí n ṣá gbàgbé mi. So as a result of that, the problem is yours. You just have to endure it because ẹni tó ń wá fà ó ń wá òfò ni. When you are looking for favor, you at the same time you just have to wait for whatever comes with it, unless that favor is from God. If the favor is not from God, any other thing, it will come with its defect. When a favor comes from a man or a woman, if it's not sent through God, from God, believe me or not, at the end of the day, it's going to come with one kind of a defect. That means that there's going to be a problem attached to that, a favor that you are giving that to your friend at the end of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, focus on what I am looking at today and look at it carefully. You can get married in the United Kingdom, but be wary of the fact that the registrar have power, and under their duty, Section 24 has placed it onto them, giving them that power to report it to the Home Office. Any marriage that they have reasonable grounds for suspecting to be a sham marriage, under Section 24, subsection 5, a sham marriage is thus defined as a marriage that is not a marriage that is relevant, a marriage of convenience, marriage that is not genuine, it's not genuine. The parties are not in a genuine relationship. The parties to the marriage, they have not even met each other. One of them have a purpose in mind to achieve. That is when that is when That is when you will know that the marriage is not genuine, because two parties are inside marriage. When you are telling me that my brother is standing there or my wife alone is there, it's a proxy marriage. A proxy marriage does not go through in the United Kingdom from Nigeria. It is not real. It involves both parties to be present at a marriage ceremony that they want to conduct solemnly between two parties. It has to be two people with the same mind at that time that we affect get married. I've seen clearly that a sham marriage is a marriage that is not genuine, where the relationship is not genuine, and where one parties have an intention, it has a purpose that the other one is not aware of. Of course, avoiding the effect of one or more provisions of United Kingdom immigration law or the immigration rule. It would be a sham if one of them is avoiding the effect of one or more provisions of United Kingdom immigration rules or the immigration law. If one of them is a sham marriage if enabling a party to the marriage to obtain a right confirmed by the law or those rules to reside in the UK, if it enables one of them to obtain. Now, if there is a child in that relationship, I will not see it as a sham anymore. Ọjà tọ́mọ bá ti wọ̀, òkúta ti wọ̀ nìyẹn. Any market, any business, any relationship dealings that you have a child, then you are not free anymore. In the UK, under family law, basically said that you cannot have a clean divorce when there is a child in your relationship. So it will not be sham. So even both parties are trying to demonstrate that they don't love each other. That is their headache, and that's their problem. Because come what may be, there is a child in that relationship that has bound two of them together, and that child is innocent. So you have to find every means at all cost to ensure that you make it work for the purpose of making that children go far in life. In every situation where there is a problem between the two parties in relationship, at the end of the day, it is the children that are get crossed in between. Àwọn ọmọ ló máa ń fara gbá níbẹ̀. You understand? Children get the effect of it most when there is a problem in marriage between couples, husband and wife. So think carefully what you want to do when it comes in the United Kingdom for marriage purposes. Of course, the question that a lot of people have been asking me, which I am privileged to answer into the public glare, is to say to you that of course you can get married. Of course, you can get married in the United Kingdom. Nothing prescribed under the law to say you cannot get married. Two organizations have the power to get you married lawfully for the purpose of home office in the United Kingdom. That is Church of England, because of Her Majesty II, and the registry offices in the UK. So any other than that, it will not be valid in the face of when you are submitting documents to the Home Office. It won't be valid. If you do it in the mosque, you do it in the Catholic Church, you do it with Redeem, you do it with CAC, will have to get approval. Prince Harry will have to get approval to get married to his wife. So I love the way the law foresees things for future purposes in the United Kingdom. I love it. Assuming they pass that law and thinking that they can never be affected because they are English heritage, they will have been caught bigly in that arena, honestly. But I give kudos to my seniors in drafting and the corridor of law. I say kudos to them for them to be able to think ahead. The thinking was even almost for 200 years to come, the way they have drafted it. Although it's an administrative law, which means that it can be changed at any time, it could vary it overnight. But as the purpose of this is still concerned, we still have the royal family and palace there. We are still going to give them the due respect from the upper side of the law. And that is why we have it in that manner. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me questions about can I get married even though I don't have status, as a lawyer, categorically, I am saying yes, you can have your status. I'm in the office, you can make your way down. So you can get married, providing you can show clearly that both of you are in a genuine and genuine relationship. Genuine relationship is what we are looking for. In fact, we never mention anything so subsisting, because we're not expecting it to be subsisting at the time when you are coming to the registrar to register your interest. It will be subsisting when two people haven't got marriage certificate and they want to show that they have lived together for 2 years. Then the definition of subsisting will definitely be in play. So you look at the draft and the code and everything, they are intact. Nothing has taken your power, nothing has taken your right, not your power, your right away from you when it comes to registration of your interest in your marriage with the Secretary of State in the United Kingdom. Nothing has taken that away. So if you're just joining me, hey, Toyosi Betty Odunuga, Ọlọ́run á parí ìjà sẹ́ ẹ̀. This one just come on my board anytime she feel likes. Ọlọ́run á parí ìjà. I love you even though I haven't seen you, because you are always on, 28 days notice. So I think that is more than clear. You have to give, 28 days notice. In addition to the Section 24 duties, where one of the parties is a non-EA national and might gain immigration advantage, the notice of immigration will be referred to the Home Office. This is what I mentioned earlier. In addition to the Section 24, where one of them is non-EA national. So if you are a Nigerian citizen, a Ghanaian citizen, a Kampala citizen, a Gambia, a Jamaica, a Kabul, you are from Kabul, you are from Marrakesh, you are from Philippines, basically, you have immediately given the registrar an automatic power to refer the matter to the Home Office, to ensure that it's not that the person just wants to gain an advantage, immigration advantage. The notice of immigration will be referred to the Home Office immediately that they have discovered that you are not an EU national. If the Home Office decide not to investigate, then the Home Office should inform the registrar and the marriage to proceed after the conclusion of the normal 28 days notice period. If they decide not to investigate, the Home Office are under obligation to tell the registrar after the conduction of their normal investigating things in the office and putting the process together. They should tell the registrar with immediate effect to proceed. They have the obligation to tell the registrar, please proceed marriage. That does not mean that your application will be successful. The fact that they ask the registrar to proceed with the marriage registration doesn't mean that your application for immigration purpose is going to succeed unless you met all the requirements. What the Home Office is trying to do in that capacity is that they are not stuck in between the pushing of the Article 8 or Article 8, Article 14, right to marry. Because if one have the advantage, opportunity to get married, and they are being deprived of, then it's gonna be in breach. The Home Secretary will definitely be in breach, no doubt. In order not to be in breach of that section, of that article, then they have to tell the Secretary of State, to proceed, without any problem. So I must tell you, the Article 12 is what we will be needing in that respect, because 14 is basically saying they have the liberty to get married, and as such they should not be discriminated against. If that is the case, Article 12 will be in charge. Article 12 of the ECHR, right to marry. That is your right to get married and to found family. Then the Home Office must be very careful in respect to that, to make sure that you are not channel to transpose it. That is legal language that I just used. They have to transpose it into domestic law. Without bringing it into domestic law, you will not be able to rely on it any longer. But ladies and gentlemen, your right to marry is confined and protected under Article 12 of the ECHR, and you have that right to marry and to found family. So if that right is still there as we speak, registrar may not have the power to deny you, but they have a duty under the Immigration Act to inform the Home Office of 28 days notice. And when they refer that to the Home Office, 28 days notice, if Home Office is happy, Home Office will tell the registrar to let you carry on with your with your, what is it called, with your marriage. But if the Home Office think that something is fishy, something is not right, they have the duty to bust you. Ladies and gentlemen, I on this platform of ours, on the time that I am free a little bit this morning because of the Eid Mubarak, so I am a bit free because of Eid Mubarak. So I said thank you for coming on the platform. Thank you for joining me. Those who are sending me friend requests, just go and like the page. There is nothing on the friend request. Just go and like the page and follow it on. Like and follow the page. Then you will have access to see me from time to time. Unless I block you, if your mouth has water like a watermelon, then I must have blocked you. And if I have blocked you, you possibly will not see me again, or you will not be able to make comment either way. So try not to let your mouth watery anyhow, so that we can enjoy each other on this platform. Like I said to you, zero tolerance for derogatory comments on my platform, and I insist on that. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go now. Iṣẹ́ ló ń tán ìṣẹ́, so ti yé yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, iṣẹ́ ló máa ń tán ìṣẹ́, so I need to go and work. But thank you to all of you on this platform, and to all that accommodates me at Orisun Ibukun Parish on the juvenile harvest 2nd of June. Kudos to you, especially the shepherd in charge and his wife, ìyàwó Òlì. Ìyàwó Òlì is really fully fledged in ẹ̀mí. Mo gbàdúrà pé Ọlọ́run á máa wà pẹ̀lú ìyàwó Òlì, kò ní deviate from agbára ẹ̀bùn ẹ̀mí mọ́ tí wọ́n gbé fún láti òde ọ̀run. Láti kékeré ló ti ń mẹ̀mí, kò ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa mẹ̀mí lọ́mọdún 30-40. Ó ti ń mẹ̀mí láti ọmọdé, so she has already been fully fledged as a confirmed pure prophetess, full-time prophetess làwọn yẹn. They are full-time prophetess. So tẹ́ bá jí wọn lójú oorun, àwọn àti Ọlọ́run jọ ń jẹ dinner papọ̀ ni. She eats dinner with God, reads breakfast and lunch with God from time to time. So àwọn yẹn full-time prophetess làwọn yẹn. Àwọn yẹn ò dẹ̀ sí ní gbangba. Tó ti yé yín, ayé má dán wa wò. Ohun tó bá wà níta gbangba láyé máa ń fẹ́ fi ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́. Ayé má fi wá ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́. Ibi tá a máa gbé nǹkan wa pamọ́ sí nìyẹn. À ní gbé sí gbangba fún yín. Tí wòlíì bá dẹ́ wòlíì, àwọn èèyàn á wá lọ síbi tó bá wà ní igbó ni, inú ibi tó bá wà ní wọ́n á wá lọ, torí àṣẹ Ọlọ́run ni. Àṣẹ Ọlọ́run ni pé nínú ògùn ojú wa láti máa jẹ. You will locate and find us if you really need us ni. So kò really necessary fún wòlíì yẹn láti wà gbangba kó pariwo ara ẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ ti ń pariwo already. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ mi mo ń pariwo ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ nísìnyí? Ṣáwọn èèyàn